Let's get our teams started here. Be quiet, please be quiet. All right. You're quiet as that. There you go. There you go. They actually works. There you go.
Very creative.
All right, welcome everybody to our Augustine meeting. Spotlight vendor is a bond. And what you guys are partaking and enjoying, I can see already. So thank her.
Thank you.
Anything you have, if you have it in escrow, call them on. So okay, there you go. Yay! Please don't spam people. People are still getting sued.
Yes,
So and now we have realtors suing other realtors for violating and calling them. So great.
Wow.
This world.
My gosh.
Jay, if you didn't know Vince.
Yeah,
you know Vince. Vince here. Where's Vince? Vince, how old are you?
34.
What? 44? Spring chicken, Vicky, Chandler, Vince, and Thomas today. Carrie, Jenny, Pablo, Bobby's coming up 8:20. Lindsay's coming up on 18. Catherine and Kevin. So, hey, say happy birthday to your people, okay? Dude. Okay, Thomas, something good. That's something
good. I got good stuff.
So happy.
So anyway, as you see that Miss G is not here. Unfortunately, she went on a trip which we were all involved in, and she had a little bit of a spill.
No.
But she's being taken care of. She also contacted an attorney. And so, she's really going to be taken care of before it's we were up in Reno and anyway. But the good news is she is doing much better. She didn't break anything. So that was a good thing. So just want to let you know for any of those that were interested, want to know what happened this week. Okay. All right. You can give me a round of applause.
for that 50. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I just want to express my sincere gratitude and love to the management of this office. Thank you so much, John, for just your support and love towards everybody, especially our team. Bruce, oh my goodness, bro. Oh my God. We've been friends for what, 60 years now?
60.
But, hey, guys, I mean, just the support we have to take advantage of Bruce. About legal matter. You cannot compare it to anybody. But on top of that, his support, willingness, compassion towards supporting every single one of us, unbeatable. Unbeatable. Bruce. Thank you.
He is taking care of something.
Okay, sorry, you're awesome. We just love you. So thank you.
I'm feeling good. That was awesome. I know there's more. Dexter.
Yeah, so, got back from a really short but a lot of fun vacation. Went to see the grandkids in Dallas. It's good. Spent too much money on them. That's what grandparents do. You guys bought school supplies, school clothes, I was like, hey, let's just go to the mall and get this done, And then I had an opportunity to go down to my hometown of New Orleans. Got back for 2 days, opening some really good things. So it was a really great break and I had a great time. That was my good thing.
All right.
I'm excited. Anyone know the restaurant, the kitchen?
Yeah.
So I was able to get an 8 table reserved, which is hard to do actually, so,
I'm going next week.
there you go. And this Saturday, I'm going with our visit. I'm super excited about it. Yeah, we'll have to do some more in the future. All right, anyone else on something good? All right. God family business, we're on integrity, do the right thing. This is perfectly great since you were highlighted. Do the right thing. And I'm gonna tell you, this is one of my fundamental values that we have at this brokerage, and we have let go of agents in violation of integrity. So please just always think about do the right thing. And if you're in a agency relationship with a client, do the right thing for the client because you're the agent. And I want to commend John and Tomas and their team because there was something that they had a transaction and it kind of went sideways and it was a little bit of their fault. And it's going to take some money to make that right. And they willingly stepped up and said, yeah, that was our fault. We're going to make this right for the client. The client's happy. They're still doing transactions. So just know integrity matters in this business. You only have your reputation. I can tell you, you've been in this business a long time, Rich, you've been in this business a long time.
There we
The
go.
only thing you really control in your career, I found, is your reputation,
That's
right?
right.
So, and so integrity is going to go a long way for your reputation. So that's one of our key principles here. So please note that. And if we ever talk to you about an issue, we're always going to bring up these because we're going to say this is what we're looking for. So, all right. Awesome. Welcome to the family. We have a couple agents who joined recently. Edgar, is Edgar here? Edgar? You know me, Edgar, he's an awesome guy. Soft-spoken guy, awesome guy. So Edgar and Darvir, I know them.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm currently a head coach at Orange Theory Fitness. That's not Matt Taylor. I founded this business. So I always want to be a real estate agent. December was the time I applied and went through with it. May got my license. So yeah, happy to be here and keep going to do what I can do.
So not only is an agent, he's our fittest agent. Okay. If you need some fitness tips, I'm darn excited. All right. Thank you. Welcome. We're excited to have you actually. So congratulations on your first closed transaction. Ben, is Ben here? No. Congratulations to Ben on your first closed. I know, just closed, last 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, Michael and Taylor, 8 closings. Jenny, Bobby, after Janelle, Leslie, and Twan, 2 closings. Man, nice job. Aruba, Francine, Gina, Jose, Crystal, Luke, Rich, Stephen, and Tanya, 1 closing. Congratulations to all our people. No one to get 8 closings in 2 weeks. Working a lot. Oh, we're talking about working. Yeah, work a lot, right? In this market, if you're not going 100 miles an hour, you're probably struggling a little bit, right, in your business. This market requires you to go fast. Go fast. Picture listing.
So I've got a really nice listing over in Alberta. It's a really nice single family house, 2201 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And it's just immaculate. They put over $120,000 in upgrades into the house itself. It basically sits on almost an acre lot size, and it includes a barn on top of that, fully fenced. So if you know anyone who's looking for a large property with a ton of stuff on it, it's just too much to list, but we may be doing open houses this weekend. But anyway, check it out. The address is 7625 El Verano Ave, and it's in Alberta.
What's price?
Oh, yeah, $699.
$699. Acre with a barn?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Awesome. Congratulations. Anyone else? Picture listen. CMG.
You know, I've got a deal for you. I mean, really.
Really?
Really? I mean, where else do you see property for $79,000? 79, average is, by the way. There's gotta be a number. There's gotta be. Hey. Sorry, brother. 6324 Bonanza Drive, unit number 126. It's off of Roseville Road. You know, just nice drive down there. You don't see anything. It is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, about 864, double wide. You do have to be 55 plus, so a lot of people will get eliminated, but at the same time, it is a steal, $79,000. We don't have anything on it as far as permits or anything, but guess what? It's the deal of the week. So, so anyway, bring your happy buyer to invest.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're becoming like our mobile home specialist.
Yeah.
I talked to an agent one time and she was listing all these condos. I had an investor and they were buying a bunch of condos. We bought like 3 from her. I'm like, why are you getting all these condo listings? And she's like, and I was like, you're like the condo queen. And she's like, I didn't intend it. I just got 1 condo listing and then the neighbors asked me and the neighbors asked me, and this guy, I'm doing all these condos. Now everyone just thinks I do condos, right? So be careful when you go down that road. So, yeah.
The reason that I have that condo is because we sold Bonanza 6314. And I guess it's the service that we perform as Keller Williams agents. And they said, you know, I'm gonna tell somebody about it. And sure enough, they did. And guess what? We have this property right here that you can't wait to get. Thank you.
Listening. Good.
Got one going, 1899 Alice Way, the T courts, has the HOA with a pool over near Natomas High. 2,320 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3 full baths. There's a full bathroom downstairs, but not a full bedroom, kind of weird. Nicely landscaped. Still deciding on price today, but it's probably going to be $515 to $525. HOA is like $100 and you get a pool. Nice community. That'll be live tomorrow.
Awesome. Congrats, Ed.
Thank you.
Oh, want to come on?
Yeah. Buenos dias, everybody. How are you? So a couple things. First thing I want to say, this kind of goes along. This is pitching the listing, but also goes along with Show Me Something Good. I just want to thank Leslie so much because the listing that I'm about to pitch. Honestly, the reason why I have this listing is because we're partnering with Leslie because it's a relocation company involved. They're very strict. These are good friends of mine who totally wanted me to list the property. But it's one of those things that there's a big financial incentive for them going with the real company. If you know how it works, you understand.
Yeah.
But it is a little messy with the whole thing. But if it wasn't for Leslie and her experience, we would not have this listing. So I'm grateful for that. So thank you for that. And she made a statement a couple of days ago, and she said, "You know what? We're a big family. That's what we are. Doesn't mean we're perfect. Doesn't mean we don't have our issues, like any family, right? But it was just really cool for her to make that statement. She goes, "We're a big family. This is what we do," and I'm grateful for that, and I agree with you 100%. So anyway, pitch the listing. The beautiful listing in Whitney Ranch in Rockland. It is gorgeous. Okay, 3,400 square feet. Plus a movie theater room. I'll let you guys know the family right now. It is not permitted. However, it is overly structurally done because my client is a contractor. He's a big superintendent with a big construction company, and it is gorgeous. So it's 3,600 square feet plus. 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage, RV possible access, big sunroom, gorgeous community. Parks, HOA is $84 a month, which is really low. And if you see the Whitney Ranch resort, it's actually really nice. The clubhouse is nice. So anyway, school districts, everything is a plus. Okay, we are doing it open. David is hosting an open house this week in both Saturday and Sunday. It's easy to show, so let me know if you want to show it. Comps are anywhere honestly from the low 9s to over $1 million. We're at 965. We just hit the market where I believe that we're priced well. Property is immaculate. Okay, so anyway, if you're looking, someone out there, let me know. We have another one in Vacaville, 3,300 square feet. Okay, nice house as well. Great community, Stillwood community, right by the outlets out there. 5-bedroom, 4-bath, huge game room. Almost RV access on each side of the backyard. 5-car driveway, 3-car garage. Great property as well. Client literally packed up yesterday and moved to Tennessee, so he is extremely motivated. We just did a $35,000 price reduction, so we're at $775 in Vacaville for almost 3,300 square feet. So we need to sell it. Bring it on.
Good job.
Thank you, brother.
Hi, anyone else? Picture listings. That's it.
Yeah, I just wanted people to know that, excuse me, we have a couple of rentals that are available here in Thomas, if you have any clients that are looking for rentals. And also, we have some investors and buyers that have been reaching out to us lately. We just closed 2 deals here on new developments. So some of our investors are asking about what's going on in Sacramento. Sacramento to them is still a hot market to invest in. So keep us in mind. The latest house that we have for rent is a 2-story, 3-bedroom, 3 full bath, 4-bedroom, 3 full bath with a full bedroom and bath downstairs on Greg Jarvis, which is a nice little neighborhood. And we have some on the board, so any interest.
You got the records. Right. Thanks, Dexter. Amy.
Amy, I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. These are all off market right now. They're getting ready to put on market. I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Rio Linda, 2-story. It's coming on probably around 400,000. It's not like redone, but it's very clean, very well taken care of. I have one in Stockton. It's a 2-1 coming up. It's a cute little like one little row home. And that one's probably going to be around 300 list price. And then I have another one coming up in Fair Oaks on the corner of Waikiki, which is like right by our Fair Oaks office. This one is a fixer. It should be coming on at 385, and that's a 3.2.
Great. Awesome. Congratulations on your listings, Amy.
We're
Anyone else on their listings pitch? Megan, you have a listing pitch?
Well, not mine. From the NTA, from the KW office. There's an off-market condo in downtown. It's fully renovated, comes fully furnished. There are pictures that she sent me, so if anybody has a client looking for a 2-2 in downtown Sac for 610, they have it off-market.
All right, off-market investment. And anyone else pitch your listings? Congratulations everyone on your listings out there. Farm got listings?
Olivati I might have this weekend, but I'll let you guys know later on. I think a few of us are coming on next week, so I'll share then. But thanks for asking.
All right, thanks, Mark. Move forward. Mark Center News, we got Kayla Gavin, come on up. Our in-house full spectrum marketing services. So welcome, Kayla Gavin.
One is that we redid our website, so it's going to be a lot easier for all of you to navigate and have a lot more of our services listed. 2, we got new equipment. We just ordered a brand new camera, and so we're going to be able to do much higher quality social media videos. So for anybody who's interested, let us know. And then we also have a bunch of new services. You can find those on the website. And then lastly, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but we have a fun little game. Somewhere hidden in our website is John Bernardo. And so if you can find him, this prize will be yours. So if you scan the QR code, you can access our website, and somewhere in this website, you'll find a photo of John. And so the first person to find it and show us will get this prize. It's got a $25 gift card in it and some FSMS flags. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla Gavin. Check it out. We're doing a lot of services from doing video services for you if you want to do videos to manage your social media all the way up. Sorry. That's all right. Yeah, it's fine. So please talk to them if you want to enhance your marketing. They do an awesome job. So open house marketing 2023 hosting open houses send over your information by Wednesday and we'll have your open posted on the public Facebook page. So we will help you drive clients to it. So please, 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 if you let us know by today that you have an open house coming up, we will post it and make sure that it goes out there. And that way you will get more people to your essentially open house, right? So we're trying to help you garner more business. Huh? Okay, this is I want to. So, here you go.
She's there.
Okay, good. So, our coaching clients know, but just so you know, we're having some changes in our productivity coaching program. It has gotten very big. Thank you, Amy and Eric. But Amy has been dutifully coaching like 150 agents or something like that. So it is getting very large, and just because, and we wanted to have make some changes. Also, Amy has been doing a lot of building her skill base to be a higher level coach, and so she's going to be moving up and doing our success coaching. So she's going to be doing success coaching beyond 3 transactions and launch coaching and higher than that. So if you're interested in getting some productivity, you can talk to her. But we have new launch coaches to help you, and we're growing our coaching base so that we can help more agents and help them more individually and personally. So congratulations to our 2 new coaches, Leslie and Barbara. Congratulations.
A lot to tell. What you see is what you get.
Let me help you.
Been married 30 years, in the business 14, actively selling, and my passion is mentoring and training.
She comes to us from another KW office where she was actively coaching and mentoring agents. She's a mega agent. She does 15, 20 million in sales a year. You can't go wrong if you're, and she enjoys helping people. Also, Barbara, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I've been an agent for about almost 21 years. And I was running the productivity coaching program at the other office I was at for about the last 6. And so I'm very excited to help agents here. And
awesome. So we're happy they come with experience.
So, yeah.
You sort of stole some talent, right? You stole some talent, and we're happy to have Barbara and Leslie here. We actually will have an announcement of a few more coaches here in the future. So we're going to have a large coaching pool to help our agents. Also, if you are in launch coaching now, you should be having a message that was transitioned. You will be getting a message from either Barbara or Leslie from there to say, hey, I've been assigned as your coach. Just so you know, look out for that messaging, that they will be taking over your coaching going forward, okay?
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
We do have a lot of people to get through to do introductions. So if you have a transaction that comes up or you need help, just reach out to us.
Just reach out, yeah, they're here. So if you need just help, just call one of them. They will help you. We don't have any, they're not gonna play favorites or anything like that.
We're not territorial.
Yeah, you're not territorial, so we'll help you. That's what it is. So, but you're gonna get a message from Barbara or Leslie, as well as if you need me, we can help as well. Bruce and I are here as well, so to help you do this. So, but we're super excited, and we're gonna have new Ignite details to be announced soon. So we're revamping Ignite, and we're going to be doing Ignite again, probably starting around Labor Day, September, right? So we're gonna have a brand new Ignite series for you. It's gonna be super awesome. Any questions, ahas? Anyone? All right. That's great.
We would be honored if you would join us.
So, we've had a lot of big updates come in the fan recently. We haven't talked about it really that much because it's been in beta testing and some other stuff, and we've been super secret about it up until recently, which I posted on Facebook. I've had my agent site updated. I was the 3rd person in the country to actually have it done. If you want to see what yours will look like over the next couple of weeks, scan that QR code, it'll bring you to mine, and you can go through, play with it, check it out, see what you like, what you don't like. This is going to be a long-term rollout over the next couple of weeks into the next month or so. I don't know how they will get in touch with you, more than likely by email, and they will set up some kind of setup process or give you a sheet of how to update your information. They've done a lot when it comes to this. I did 2 rounds of beta testing for the agent site. They're changing a lot of things with it. You will have access to your own blog that you can either A, write your own stuff, B, use Keller Williams International stuff, or C, bring in your own stuff from Inman or anywhere else. There's going to be a CMA that's going to go live in September. There's also going to be an open house sign-in sheet directly connected to your agent site. The search function has gotten a little bit better as well. The look has been updated. They've added some extra data to the listings as well. Or next, the big thing. There's all new paid ads experience. You're running ads right now and you go to create a new ad the old way, you cannot. There is a new way to do this. There is on the next slide, but don't go there yet, go back. There is a list of answer articles to help you walk through that. Next Monday, I'm going to be doing a class here from 11 to 12 to go over the entire process of setting everything up and going over some of the new features. We now have what's called lead gen ads and traffic ads, two different things. You will have access to the entire Meta platform. So you're not going to choose, is it Facebook or is it Instagram? Meta is going to say, this is where it's going to go. We have access to Google search ads directly in command. So you no longer need to have an external Google account to do this. Teams will have access to dynamic ads. Only teams at launch. Eventually, solo agents will get access to dynamic ads. I'll be going over all these more at the class. If you move it forward now, there is the wiki links over here on this QR code. And if you want to do the KW University training, which I have also already done, they're doing more and more of these all the time. Go ahead and scan that link and it will be free to you to do that. They'll be ongoing with this stuff. As of right now, if you have ads currently running or scheduled to run before yesterday, those ads will run. If you're going to do any new ads starting yesterday, you have to go through the process of setting up and reconnecting your Facebook business page and re-entering your payment in. I think that's it.
All right. Thank you, Patty.
For us non-tech people, what's a dynamic ad versus the other ones?
So a dynamic ad is basically in KW is what's going to happen is all the listings that the market center has will be promoted by you on Facebook or Instagram or Google search. You will actually not really do anything with the ad. It's a subscription based, so it runs every month for the entire month, and you pay a minimum fee of $250 all the way up to, I think, like $1,000 or something like that you can get. And it will run every day for the entire month. And you never actually do anything with it except put a little bit of words into it. You don't get to choose which listings get run. Now this time, you can choose local. You can also choose other cities and other areas in the country.
Does it retarget? That much I do know.
Retargeting is not there yet. That is coming with TikTok ads and YouTube ads later in the year. Any other questions? David?
Website?
Yeah, new website.
New websites.
Team website?
No, still solo teams are coming with it though eventually. Yep. Yeah. He's been waiting for the team. Any other questions? All right, cool.
All right, thank you, man.
Yep.
Woo. All right. Your training Monday, August 11, 12. Please show up if you want to. No. What?
August 14th, 11 to 12. You got it. Instead of August 11, 12. I
Oh,
was like, no.
Third Thursday, August 17th, not this
Next Thursday.
next Thursday. We're going to have our third Thursday mixer.
Yeah.
Come in, bring some drinks. It's a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff. Come and join us. Good note. Default REO lending panel. I'm super excited. Friday, August 25th here, which is a Friday, from 9 to 10:30, we're going to talk about default REO lending panel. We have special guests and Serena. If you ever came back from the REO days, these are all the big REO agents. You go back way back when. So we're going to have a panel. And so these are our big REO agents. We're also talking to a few lenders as well. They're going to talk about how to do REOs, how to do REO sales, and also how to work with asset managers and how to get in relationship with asset managers so that you can get REO listings. These are all high-level REO listing is set forth. We have a guest from BRM Lending. They are an asset management company that works with them on getting REOs to agents to sell. So they're going to be here talking about how they work, what asset managers they do, how to engage in their platform, and what they look for in real estate agents that they're looking to get listings to, right? For REOs. That is happening Friday, August 25th. So we're gonna have a REO asset manager talking, and then we're also gonna have a panel from agents to talk about what it means to do REOs, how to do REOs, and how to keep your relationship with your asset manager good and happy, right? So I'm very excited about this training. If you don't know, Paul and Zareth and some of these are mega agents for a long time. In fact, they've been mega agents so long, they're just legends now. So.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna have a lot of great production on the board, and we have just talking about REO. So if you are curious, and most of you, if we look at the stats, we're not around during the Great Recession days when REOs were aplenty. They are starting to show back up. So because of the market and people hitting hardships and the rating. So come on, join our training here. It'll be here on Friday the 25th. I'm super excited about it.
So no Zoom, right?
What?
Zoom, no?
I don't know. We have to talk about it.
Yeah, Paul didn't mention anything about Zoom, but depending on the attendance, we might have to take it virtual.
We might have to take, because we think we're gonna get a lot of attendance. So we'll try for
TBD, we'll keep you posted shortly.
We'll try.
You know, I do my no on Friday.
Then I'll make it Zoom for you.
Thank you.
You're gonna watch and drive at the same time.
Yeah.
Until 10.
But if you thought about REOs or if you thought about that's something I want to do in my business, you need to come to this panel. They're going to talk. There's a lot of wealth of knowledge here about REOs and how to do REOs.
I will say, regardless of the Zoom factor of it, I will make sure that we get it recorded so that way, if you're not able to attend in person, if it is only in person, we'll get it up on the YouTube for you guys to review.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay.
Cool. We're super excited to have this lined up here, and we negotiated it. The BRM, the asset manager, is only here in town for 2 days. We're able to get lock it down. So,
Heck yeah.
all right, tailgate Friday, September 15th, $25 ticket. Please sign up. It's a lot of fun. We're gonna have our tailgate then. So, club check-in, just so you guys know, last week, look at this: 409 contacts, 5 appointments set, 4 appointments held, 1 buyer, 150 doors knocked, 2 escrows, 2 closings, 8 open houses. If you want accountability, you need that team feeling, and you don't, you just need a little help. We all say we know what we want to do, just actually doing it's the hard part. And if you want help, club is there. What you want to say?
Yeah, I got a shout out to everybody that stayed consistent or has been in and stayed involved or came in and got involved. I'd like to welcome Don to the club. He's ready to rock and roll. Brand new agent coming in, stepping in. He set his goals for this week. If you see the amount of doors knocked over the last several months, they have drastically increased. We've seen in our industry, door knocking is a way to get belly to belly with potential buyers and sellers without the constant sales tactic of an open house or a cold call or something like that, right? So with Scott, he has excelled in his target market, hyper-local, hyper-fast, and the string homes, that he brought that into the club, and we said, all right, how many people want to door knock 20 doors? Right, this week. So we had a commitment level of about 6 or 7 agents that actually did it, rock and roll, and some people got coffee off of me because I thought they would fail. But if you wanted to get a chance to free coffee and knock some doors and earn some business, it's a great accountability. It's taking action. You're in a room full of your peers. This month, we're actually reading the first 2 parts of NREA, and we're going to do a mastermind and bring in the class at the end of the month for our monthly meeting on Monday, the last Monday of the month at 2:00, right? Fourth Monday. And we are having lunch provided, right? But if you want to get in now, right?
Yeah.
And
if you want to deep dive into MRA, this is a good time. Show up that monthly meeting go on the first section of MRA. If you really dive deep into it, you'll see how to build it. And then
it's Monday at 2:00.
All right.
That's a half hour.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Okay. We're on the TL Toolbox today. Can you bring up the trends? I want to talk a little bit about the trends. We just ended July. We're just starting August. And I want to show you some things on the trends. You scroll up a little bit.
Oh, scroll
Not
down.
that far. Just. So I just want you to know, change, if you can see, for sale. Same time last year, we're about 48% off on listings across the marketplace. So we have a lack of inventory, right? So if you get a listing and you get it priced right, pretty much guaranteed commission right now. Pretty much. Sold though, only 11% down. So what does that mean? What?
We're overpricing our properties.
We'll talk about that, yeah, so a little bit. Pending's up, actually, I'm sorry, for sale is up a little bit, this is down, but if you go last year, so we're actually trending up. So the market, as you can see from the line, we're trending kind of back,
Right.
but compared to last year, we're horrible, right? So just think, through the fourth quarter last year and first quarter really this year, we kind of bottomed out. Everyone got scared, interest rates, cold, bottomed out, and we're sort of in, and you can see the bottom, and we're sort of making our way slowly out of the system. But then we have like interest rates shoot up here and this thing, so it gets kind of bumpy. So you're seeing kind of bumpiness go along. But just so you know, like listings are down 48%, but sold even last year only down 14%. What does that mean? That means they're actually selling. So basically you get a listing on credit, you're basically selling, right? We have less listings, but the listings that are coming on are getting sold. That's basically what we're saying. So, and you can see sold is, pending is only 6.2%. So that just rises like less listings, but everything's getting in a contract essentially. So, all right. Oops. Go to the next tab. This is the average sales price. Look at this. Change from 1%, 2.4% last year. Everyone says the market's going to crash, we're going to prices down. The average price per square foot is 2.9% down from the same time last year. So basically it's a blip. We did have some go down, but it's basically pretty much the same as last year. Why? Anyone know? We have high interest rates, but the prices are holding. Shouldn't we have high interest rates? The prices should drop. What's happening? No inventory. Remember, no matter what the Fed does with rates, you can't overcome supply and demand. Remember economics 101 in high school? Supply, demand. If we have very little supply, what they're trying to do is the Fed's trying to diminish buyer demand. But our supply is so low, even their diminished buyer demand is more than our supply. So that we have more buyers and sellers right now, even though they're depressed just because of how low the inventory is. And they did create this market because they did a bunch of refis during COVID. Now everyone's locked in their house at low rates and they don't want to sell because they're going to a high rate. So we have this weird dynamic where that's why the Fed's struggling, because they're like, normally this would tank the market to slow things down, but it's not really tanking it because they created a market where there's low supply, and no matter what they do on the rate side, it's not really generating more listings or slowing the price down, right? So basically we have no homes for sale, not enough homes for sale, not a whole bunch of buyers, but enough buyers to make enough demand, and that's keeping prices steady. Everyone understand what the market's happening? Okay. I want to note this.
Right.
Average days on market, 28, 26 days. So I want you to note that when you're doing your listings, if you're telling them we're going to sell this and we're going to put it on Thursday, we're going to open house the weekend, we're going to sell it on Monday, you're probably going to struggle a little bit. So you're going to have some wrong expectations up and something like, what happened, right? So I suggest you show this to your clients, and you can see average days on market is going up. And so what does that mean? So we still have enough buyers, not enough supply, but days on market are going up. That means buyers are getting more choosy. And I've seen a lot of cancellations out there and things go wrong. And I've seen a lot of cancellations, listings canceled because they're realizing buyers are getting choosy. And if your inspections are bad or you show well, you're basically, tumbleweeds in ghost town, right? So, that's it. I know. Okay. So I want you to note that. And, sorry. Just so you know, this is the sold price versus list price. So list price versus what actually it sells at. If you notice, we've been hung 99, 98 across the board. So basically, on average, if you list it right, you're basically gonna sell, and you're gonna sell around this price or 1% below this price on average. All right, so prices aren't falling everywhere, it's not dramatic, it's just, you got it priced right, so, all right, one last tab on the show. The average. So, all right, this is the average list price. This is the actual average sold price. You notice something? You notice something? This is dramatic. This means seller expectations for what versus what buyers are actually willing to pay is vastly different. Also, this is exacerbated because high price listings are sitting much longer than low price listings. So if you're in the luxury market, you're getting above 700, 800,000 around there, and your listings up there, you need to talk to your clients. It's not going to be a quick sell. It's not going to be a quick sell, right? I've seen luxury taking 200 days to get in contract to sell, right? So just luxury clients, you just have to know if you're doing a luxury high-end sell, those people, the thing about luxury is they have the money. They can stay in their house. It's no big deal. They can weather high rates. They don't care, right? They'll only buy when they want to buy. That's it. So they have, there's more buyer choice in there. But I want you to know this. This is the thing. And this is, the farther those things get apart is the more that buyer expectations and seller expectations are farther apart. Yes.
How is that even possible? That's like a $200,000 difference from July, in July of 23. Between list and sale.
Yeah. So part of it is we're listing a lot of homes. Part of it is the only ones that are selling are lower priced homes. So part of it, that part of the gap is we're listing a bunch of homes, all ranges of prices, but the lower ones are selling mostly, not the higher ones. So part of that's why I talk about luxury, right? And then, but part of it is sellers have to reduce the price. That you were seeing a lot of price reductions and things like that to adjust for the market, and sellers are not, and agents are not doing a good job of setting up their listings to sell. So, all right. Definitely.
Is the green one the original list price?
Correct.
Or they take the price? Right?
Original list price, yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. So we have two things happening. Lower price homes are selling better than higher price homes, right? Like we know. And another part is people are listing high and then having to have pain with their seller to get down. Now I can tell you there's a lot easier way. I don't know how many of you had a listing that you listed it too high and you had to go through multiple reductions to get it to sell. How was that process? Was it painful? No. Painful, right? Like, if you could do that and not do that, if we could just get them to list at the right price ahead of time, then we wouldn't have that problem, right? We would just sell, right? So how do we do that? So Sam, if you go back to slides, I want to talk a little bit about how I do it. Now, some of you who are more experienced that have experience in the room are coaches. Bruce, I'm gonna go ahead and chime in. I'm not the certified one thing expert on this. There's a bunch of ways to do it. I'm gonna tell you how I talk to sellers to get them at a price that I wanted, not what they wanted. So I want to get them off their price, because I guarantee you talk to every seller, they're gonna have their price. And some of you are just saying, yeah, that's okay. That's just, yeah, I want the listing. We'll do that price, but you know, it's too high. You sold the comps. You're like, that doesn't really work, but I don't want to harsh the seller, or I don't know what to say. So I'm just taking that. And then we're just going to have a lot of pain and heartache. And I hope I get to the finish line. And I'm seeing a lot of listing, because we're doing all day. I see a lot of listings being canceled, listing too high. Now you can't get the seller down because you thought, trust me, if you list at a price, if you agree with the seller's price and know it's too high, the sellers in their mind believe that you said you could sell at the price, you could sell their house at this price. They literally believe that. So if you agree to that price, just know the seller's going to have a standard of saying you signed the docs, you told me you could sell it at this price. And when you start coming for reductions, it looks a little disingenuous, right? So we're going to talk about it. So on my listing presentations, I always use this triangle, and it's popular. I even learned to draw this triangle on a paper upside down, because if you draw something, a graph in front of sellers, and you talk about it at the same time, guess what? They think you're intelligent, right? They do. It's actually a trick of the mind that if someone can talk and draw a graph at the same time and talk about the graph, actually draw it, not just talk about it, draw it, they actually think you're super intelligent. So all you have to do is really practice it, right? That's right. So I learned to draw it because I used to just brush up the sheet and then do it, and then I was like, oh, I can just draw this up there. So okay, Want you to know this. This is part of market stats. And I say, so we get to the listing presentation, I'm like, okay, you ready to talk about price? And they're like, yeah, let's talk about price. I'm good. I'm happy. Let's talk about price. I say, okay, I'm going to talk about how real estate works in pricing. I don't even talk about comps yet. I say, we're going to talk about how pricing works in real estate. Okay. Sales. And I'm saying, look at this graph. This says, if we're at market value, we're going to draw a triangle, hold this bust out. We're going to say right in the middle of this triangle is the perfect market value. We're listing right at what the market could bear, and we're going to get you the highest dollar we can. Right? Makes sense? Like that's it, the sweet spot. Now, unfortunately, there's no crystal ball that says that's the exact amount. But if you do your comps well, you should be able to get it close to that number, right? And I say this now. Here, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I know you want this price, and it's 10% above what I'm saying. I'm saying 500, and you're saying 550. Right? And we have this gap. I'm saying the problem with that, and this has been proven over and over again, is if I'm 10% over, if I list that market value, if I list right at the right price, the buyers in the market, 60% of the buyers in the market are going to come through and see that home. They're going to look at that home and give it a full evaluation, right? If I go just 10% above, I lose half those buyers. Half those people won't even look at the house. They just won't do it. I lose half my people. And I tell sellers, I go, my problem is that I'm going to get you the best value. How do I get the best value for a listing? How do I get them the most money? How do I do that? You know, what do you do? What? Yeah, get as many buyers. I go, look, the more people I get to see the home, the more people who fall in love in the home. And I need people I need buyers that fall in love. Because why? Because when we get in the bidding war, they'll go in 100%. I only get people that love the home if they actually see the home. Have you ever met anyone who loved the home so much off of videos or pictures that they're willing to go in a bidding war to get the house? Right? They got to see the house. They got to feel it. They're going to be like, this is my family's home. So I tell people, like, critical to your selling success. And if I want to maximize your value of your home, I get to get multiple offers, and preferably multiple offers from people who really love your home. That's the goal. The problem is if I lift it too high, you lose half the buyers that would normally see that home. And if you want 50% high, I'm only going to get very few people to come to your home. And if they don't, and I go, Mr. So do you agree? If no one sees your home, are they going to make an offer? No, the only people that are going to make an offer in home is that they actually see your home. They feel compelled to come see your home. I go, conversely, of course, if we drop the value, we listed it below value, what happens? My gosh, 10% down. If I listed your 500 home at 450, my gosh, we're going to have like 10 calls coming in, right? And we're going to have a lot of people. I'm not really worried because we're going to have so many people. We're going to have like 20 offers and we're going to push it up, right? So we can do it the other way. That's a really quick way. You want to close quickly? Go here, because we will have the open houses with gangbusters. I'll have to have 3 agents here because we so many people, and we're going to just do it that way. Make sense? So I tell sellers, look, I know we want to be here, but if you want a quick sale, that means you want to, not just a quick sale, you want to sell on your timeline. That means I get you a buyer that's willing to close on your timeline. I get a buyer that's willing to pay your price. I'm gonna get a buyer that's willing to live with your terms. Then I need to be somewhere like here. But then I get a lot of people that come through. And what happens is if we go here and then reduce later, I'm screwed. The stats show once you go on the market, even if you come back, you reduce later, there's no bump. It doesn't change. Because in our minds, psychologically, when you look at a listing, when a buyer looks at a listing, if they've seen it before, even if you do a price reduction later, they've seen it before, their mind already discounts it. It's like, that house is done. I'm not gonna look at it again. You're like, and there's a buyer there, you're like, you just dropped 50,000, they're in your price range now, let's go see it. They're like, I've seen that house. No, I'm done, right? So I tell sellers, so do you agree that we should either be here or here to get your house sold? And they're like, yeah, John, I get it. Like, I don't want to screw my house over. This is how people, you go up here, we're going to sit on the market a long time. And then we're going to have canceled price discussion. And I don't think price reduction discussion. I don't think we want that. So we want to live here or even here. You want a quick sell? I'll do it here, like not even 10% below, but maybe 5% below, let's come. A lot of people come, right? And so I said, okay, they're like, okay, John, I get that. So now we go next slide. So I say, here's the comps. We present with just a one-page comp. Why? The seller's already seen the comps. They've looked at Zillow multiple times. They've looked at Realtor.com multiple times. They have a price in their mind already. So I'm just saying, here's the comps. So this is actually a listing we have already. Actually, it's in Edgar. And we put active and sold. And the reason we want to put active is so your actives are your competition. So I tell people, seller, you want more people to come? People are going to look in that neighborhood and they're going to look at every active home and then they're going to filter out the homes that are the best value. That's what they're going to do. So I go, we also got to we got to be cognizant of your competition. And we got to be cognizant of your what's happening in the recent past. And then I'll see, and I'll point examples and make sure on your comps that you put solds that tell that story of the triangle. That's what you got to do. You got to put comps in your sold that show the story of the triangle. So for example, like this one, this house on Twin Creeks Lane, 3-2, 46 days on market, 459 start, 46 days, dropped it to 429, finally got 435. See, that's someone who listed 5% above, only had 30 people show up, had to drop the price and beg for someone to give them an offer. Is that what you want? Mrs. Seller? No. I go, I like this guy, 14 days on market, 420, ironic, 429, 40, list at 429, 14 days on market, 433. Mr. Seller, is that more, would you like that result as opposed to that result? What are they gonna say? Okay. Or how about we go really low? 6 days on market, 399. They going up over 6 days on market. So this is the opposite. This is like now we're below this price. For market value. See that? I said, look, they're all kind of the same. They all ended up in the same place. The houses are somewhere between 425 and 435. That's where they are. And you can go the paint route. We can get it exactly right and takes longer, or we can do fire sale and get there anyways. So then I go and say, Mr. Seller, if you can find like canceled or expired ones in there that never reduced or never got there, put those in. So what you want to do is remember your comps tell a story, and the story it needs to tell is your triangle. So then I say, just like a lot of you say, I say, Mr. Seller, what do you think the price should be? And I'd say 9 times out of 10, they come off their price and they come down because they're scared of that. I don't want 46 days and have to go through 3 price reductions to get a student buyer, right? So they're not going to want that experience, right? So you gotta remember, comps, the numbers are the numbers, but the numbers tell a story. And they tell stories of that triangle. And long as your stories line up with the triangle, you're going to come off like an expert on pricing. That's the key. If you come up an expert at pricing, that you need to convince the sellers that you are smarter than them at pricing the home to sell. Yeah.
The only other thing I would add to what you said, John, is, and I was very anal retentive when I did listing presentations. I wanted to have the most accurate numbers I could possibly show up with. So what I would do on my sold comps is I'd actually pull a copy of the sold MLS listing to bring with me. And I would make notes on here off to the side, any concessions that were involved in the sold price. Because the actual close price, especially today, does not tell the true picture.
Right. And that's what I want to say is, if you're going to do this presentation, do your homework. I would look at all these listings in detail. I would see who's in good condition, who's in bad condition, was one a flip, was there a distress sale, was there concessions, right? You want to get a sense of where they are. And that's the thing you need to understand is you need to get the sellers off their price. If the sellers, and when we do a listing call and they say, hey, what do you think the price is? And they'll generally say, well, we think it's around here. If they're hesitant, they'll say, no, I'm sure you look on Zillow. You wouldn't be even considering selling or talking to us if you didn't think there was a price out there that you could get, right? They know, right? So I get that number from them. I say 95% of the time, the number's higher than you think it's going to sell. So you gotta have this discussion. You gotta ask them where they got their information from. If they say, oh, because my neighbor down the street, I've had this, where they said, my neighbor down the street, and his house is less quality than mine and smaller than mine, and he sold for this amount. And that's why I want this price. I said, okay. And I go and comp them, I tried to find this comp, and I had to go back like 3 years. And I found the comp, and I was like, yeah, that was during COVID, sorry, right? You know, you should have sold during COVID, not now, right? You know what I'm saying? So if they have a source of information that they're using to justify their price, you gotta discount that source, not them, you gotta discount the source. So I used to have a sheet in my thing where, because a lot of people do Zillow. And so I had a Zillow accuracy. If you go on Zillow and say Zillow accuracy, they literally have a chart by county, or metropolitan area, I should say, by how accurate they are. And in Sacramento, they were like, if a 50,000 band, that means I was accurate from, if I said the house was 525, if I go to 575 or 475, Zillow says they're accurate. Well, I mean, crap, I mean, I'd be accurate too if I had that, right? So, but even on that range, they were like 67% accurate with that range. So I said, like, you know, I appreciate it. It's a good tool, but it doesn't reflect the reality of your individual listing in the house, right? And so you got to get them off their logic and show them your logic and let your comps tell the story. And if you do that, you'll move them off of their logic and onto your logic about price, and it will come down on price. Make sense?
So why don't you show pending in their explanation?
We do. There's just no pending. We will show pending too.
So do you show the condition? I know you kind of talked about it, but I mean, you can have a big difference in the condition of a home.
Correct.
You know,
Sometimes I'll discount certain listings, or I'll just take them out, or I'll just say, these two were fixers, so we're just not gonna, you know, deal with those right now. I know you saw, I just put them on there because when they pull it up on Zillow, they're seeing everything. So what you gotta do is, you gotta make it look like you're not playing favorites and trying to pick and choose your information. You gotta say, look, I looked at everything, and this is why I got rid of this, and this is why I put this out and put that, and this is why I think these are the important ones. You gotta do that.
So you're also looking at, you know, from a realtor's perspective, condition of a home where you know, okay, they got pea green shag carpeting with purple walls, you know.
And I might say that and go, look, you know, they did 39424, and I can tell them, you know, this was a fixer house. So they listed it low, but they still got in the neighborhood of the other ones because they listed it so low and they got so many people through the house, they probably got multiple offers. So we can even take a crappy house.
Right.
And this would be a better story. If this low dollar house was a crappy house, that even tells more of my story about the triangle. Because I'm saying, look, they just did a fire sale, had a bunch of people come through, and they were able to get enough people to just buy the home to get it almost near the good homes, right? Because they did it, they sold it properly, right? So
This particular one right here, we actually got an offer right after going on all cash. And we actually ended up not working out with that buyer. Obviously not at any fault of my seller. And we went back on the market, and in 2 days we had 2 more offers. There was about a dozen showings, and we got back over list price. I just did something just like this with our listing on Overlook. The seller wanted to go a couple $1,000s over the model match comp, same condition, wanted to go a couple $1,000s over. They're in contract on a property in Kansas. And right before we went on the market, I said, Barbara, all right, I told you right before we went on the market, I'll show you exactly what's going on in the market. Here's what's going on. You have 5 pendings in your neighborhood. 4 of them had multiple offers. This other one that is pending stayed on longer. These other ones were gone in 8 days. We barely made it to the weekend. We just sent out to sell a multiple counter offer. We're listed at $599. We're at $620 and $625. Right? It depends on what the seller wants to take.
that's what I'm saying. For some of you who are new or don't experience, you're worried about trying to go low and worried you're gonna get the seller the price that they really want. Use the numbers to tell the story. You'll see where people have done it and they've moved up on price, right?
31 days, 536, 31 days came down to 460. 46 days at 459 came to 435. 399, 424 in 6 days. 429, 433 at 42. Right, you're showing me this. When do you want to get to the next property? What's your goal? That's what you ask.
And not only that, but it bans where they want. If I go back to the triangle, I say, look, you can see that 399 is here, right? The other ones are here. You can see what the ones that sucked, right? They were up there. So how about we live here? Some are here or here. That's where we want to live, to sell your home.
And if you're under 850, 900,000, typically your buyers, sellers, or your buyers are gonna be looking at $25,000 to $50,000. So if you have a property that's probably gonna go 620, 630, even upwards of that, and you say, hey, you know what, people are maybe have their cap at that price at 650, but they want to stay in 500. Why don't we knock that 6 off and put a 5 in front of it and see what happens, right? They shop in $25,000 to $50,000.
So we tell this is a skill-based market. You have to get your sellers realistic about the market. You got to be able to. You can just Google pricing, real estate pricing triangle. There's a bunch of different graphics. Just grab one, put it into your presentation, learn to talk about it.
It's been around for 35 years.
I know, yeah. How long has it been around? I've used this thing, and I've learned to draw it upside down. First, I learned to draw it, then I realized, well, they're on the other side too, so I can draw it upside down. Right. So it's just harder. It's not harder actually. It took a little bit of time. But just so you know that, I also want to talk about real briefly. Bulletproof new trade comment.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right. I want to talk a few things. I've seen a lot of cancellations on the buy side, a lot of cancellations on the buy side. And what I'm seeing you guys is not setting up your escrows properly. I'm giving you a few tips. This isn't the wherewithal, but I'm gonna tell you this, a loan approval status. You may just work with your lender and he may come and say, they're good, here's your letter, but they just pulled their credit, went off what they said. Here's a letter, and then you get to escrow, and next thing you know, there's IRS lien. Oops, well, we didn't know that, so we like pulled everything. So you need to be careful about what your loan officer is actually doing with those clients and what kind of status, approval status you actually have with your buyers. And so, and lenders, LOs will fudge those from, it's pre-approval, but it's really a pre-qual. We got pre-qual, which means I ran the credit and I looked at everything and they told me what they said and I'm good with it, right? That's pre-qual. Pre-approval is I ran it through DU. Fannie and Freddie have systems. And they say, they pull your credit and then you put in the numbers. Now, he doesn't have to go on, even DU approval, you don't have to actually have the numbers. You can just go off what they say. We saw DU is crap in, you'll get crap out. So, but that's if it comes back and says, yeah, we approve this loan, Fannie and Freddie will buy this loan. So if they do that, that's DU approval. That's generally what we call a pre-approval, but you can make that a crappy process if you want to, what LF wants to, by not doing anything. And then you have full pre-approval where they go through underwriting. If you have buyers where their income is funky, commission-based, they get paid, but it's from their own company. They get a lot of overtime. Those sort of things are just questionable. You really, really need to have your LO run them all the way through. If the LO is concerned about verifying the income or even just calculating the income, you got to get them all the way through the process. On those borderline ones, we run them all the way through so you know exactly what you're approved for. Revisiting the rate at the time of offering. Rates are so fluid right now. We've had people, they got approved 2 months ago, finally get a contract, but it was 6.75 then, and now 7.25, and it went up $300 a month, and they say no, right after they get a contract. They haven't even put the deposit in. They just talk with the lender, and lender's like, oh, now 7.25, this is your rate. And they're like, what? And back out. We've seen that a lot, actually. So when you're gonna finally offer, they may have been quoted a 6.75 rate 3 weeks ago. But some of the market shifted and now they're at 7.25. You need to have your lender check in with them and say, this is, if we offer today at this price, this is the rate you would get and this is your payment. Before you write the offer. So that way they're not balking in the middle of 3 days from the transaction. You're just like, man, we had it great, now we're out, right? All right. Negotiate to make it a win-win. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm seeing a lot of win-loses out there. If you, as a buyer, you feel you have leverage because listing's been a long time and you go and beat up the seller and beat up the listing agent right at the front with your listing agreement, I guarantee when you do inspections later and you find some more stuff and you just want a $5,000 credit, the seller's gonna be like, no, take it or leave it. Because if you go in trying to win on one side to make them lose, remember the escrow is a long process. If you go back, they're gonna have hard feelings about it. And if they feel they have leverage on you, they're gonna use it. All right? So, you need to talk about it and go, it's going to go with this, co-op relationships matter.
Amen.
Yeah, co-op relationships matter. If you will get your offers more accepted if you do co-op if you make a relationship with the other agent on the other side. I can tell you more offers are accepted when you do co-op, when you make sure your co-op relationship is good. And when you do this good, and you talk to them and figure out what's a win for the seller, what's a win for the listing agent, how do they win? And if I can get my buyers close to where they win and we feel we both win, you're gonna have a much smoother transaction. And even when you go to them with the $10,000 pest credit, it'll get accepted because you start a smooth win-win at the beginning. The only way you're gonna know what's the win-win at the beginning is because you talk to the other side and made a relationship with them. Right? I'm gonna say this, especially for new agents, don't inject your feelings in front of your clients. Bruce and I do this a lot as brokers. Like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, the other agent's calling me saying, this, your agent is yelling at me, selling bad things. And mine's like, I hate that other agent, they're stupid. And they, you know, you can't believe what you did to me. And I start talking both sides. And it's just the agents. Buyers don't care. Buyers still want the house. Sellers still want. It's just the agents who are like interjecting their feelings in the process. I'm like, you're the representative. Did your buyers want to buy a house? They're like, yeah. Then shut up. You're tanking the sale because of your relationship, because you can't get along with the other side when your job is to get that close for your buyer. To be on this side. So check your emotions out of it. I don't care if they're an a-hole on their side. Smile and say, okay, we want the house. Because you're representing the buyers, right? And you got to make sure the buyers get the house, right? And manage your client's feelings. Remember, if you bring in and the agent's hard on the other side and this, and you bring that negativity and vitriol to your clients, they're naturally going to they're going to associate those feelings with the seller. And so when something's either way, and so if you say, oh, that buyer's agent is incompetent, they suck, you know what they said to me, and blah, 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 and you're on the listing side, when they come back for a negotiation, the seller's going to look at them like they're trying to be evil or conniving, they're trying to get one over on us, right? And so they're going to start making this a win-lose situation because you put your emotions and gave it to your clients, right? So the reason agents were made in the first place was because sellers and buyers just couldn't get along. So they invented this industry called real estate agents so that we can be the middlemen, so we can actually be professional and make these happen. So be professional, manage your feelings. So just know it's never as good. They feel happy about getting a contract, but you know you have a lot of minds to go through. So manage your clients' feelings. When they're super happy, great, I'm happy too, but I don't go super happy and make them really high because when that inspection comes in, then they're gonna go really down. And that's a fat down, right? You want to mitigate the downs and ups. You're gonna have downs and ups in every transaction. What you want to do is, I'm happy, great. Hey, we're gonna get on those inspections. So I temper that happiness. I'm happy for them. Congratulations. Hey, we got an inspection now. Let's get on. So I temper it a little bit, right? Because I want to make sure if the inspection's coming low, we're not dropping so far from super happy to super sad. Right? Does it make sense? So you got to manage their feelings. And if you're not smart about that and you're just going super happy with them, they're super high. And then when you see the pest you're like, oh no, this is gonna cancel. You're thinking that because I just got a $50,000 pest inspection done, then you're gonna go down with them, right? So I just want you to know those are the things that will help you get better bulletproof transactions in your life, which is nice because then you won't have cancellations and you will get people done and closed, right? So right.
Can I make a comment on that?
Yeah.
Managing the client's feelings. We meet these people, sometimes we don't know them very well. We don't know their baggage. They always come to us with baggage.
Right.
We don't know what will trigger them. So we really have to keep our feelings out of it because we may say something and then they go down this road and I just had one of these and it's really hard to pull them back. It's gonna close, but it was
Really hard to pull them back, right?
It was very hard and painful.
So I view myself from the other side, especially the other side is hard, so they're trying to make it win-lose. I don't deliver that message to my clients. I'm like a wall to them, right? I'm saying, hey, we're negotiating, that's okay. We have the right to negotiate, and that's fair. It's normal. It's normal. So even though they're like, we're just negotiating. So you want to like temper things down so that way your buyers or your sellers don't have, they start building feelings and on the other side, and it gets hard to manage that transaction.
And they'll make us.
And they'll fall out.
Also, if you'll be talking to the other agent and maybe they'll tell you this is what we're gonna do, and I don't share that with my client until I actually see it on paper and sign.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, stop going on verbal, stop going on verbal.
For your client, go, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and then it doesn't, and then you look like the bad guy.
Yeah. I've done that so many times. We're like, oh, we're gonna counter you. It's gonna be 500, and then you get the counters like 520. You're like, what? I just said, oh, then they come back. Oh yeah, we talked. I thought it was gonna be 5, but they came back to 520. They're like, now you look stupid to your clients.
Our verbal stuff is one thing.
Right.
I would also say it's not just manage your clients' feelings, but manage your clients.
Yeah.
I mean, just like on the listing side, you manage your clients' expectations before you take that list.
And I'm gonna say this, yeah, exactly. What I want to say is, no, if you don't call your clients back after 3 days after they call, they're gonna start harboring bad feelings toward you.
Right.
And that's gonna make your way to try to influence them to move, get that credit done, and things like that harder because you're not responsive to them. So how your customer service happens also determines your ability to manage the clients, right?
Well, and on the buy side, one of the biggest things that kills deals are dealing with inspections and the requests for repairs and how those are delivered and this and that and the other. And maybe if you're, especially if you're new and you're meeting with a buyer and you're just you're showing up to meet the home inspector, have that conversation with the buyer and let them know, look, these guys are gonna find everything that's wrong with this house. It could be a brand new house and they're gonna find stuff. Our purpose here is to make sure you have full knowledge of what you're buying. And, within some reason, if there's health and safety issues or things like that, then we need to maybe address those in terms of a request for repairs. It's not so that you take every single item in the inspection and ask that the seller remedy that.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that. Everyone have a great day. Sorry, I want to look forward, but I hope that helps you. And we have some lunch if you haven't already out there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff? Very good. Good stuff. You're excited now? Want to bring us about it? You just get you right back to me. I got my next turn already. I know it's 50 years, I'm serious about that. About today's test. Oh, yeah, I just stop holding it. Okay.
Oh, that's nice. No, no, guys, yes.